Hi guys, video 2. Okay, so I tried coffee dyeing this. I think it was a piece of even weave that I had. I ordered the pattern, but I didn't order the fabric. And I've heard this before from different people that even weave doesn't often take the dye or work as well when you dye it as linen. And I found that to be true. I tried coffee staining it, tea dyeing it. I've done that with lots of different fabric and had really good results, but neither one of them worked very well at all. There really was very little color to the piece once I had spent almost a whole day dyeing it. So then I resorted to, I wanted to add a little bit more kind of bronzy yellow to it. There's the cat. Hello, Bentley. And it turned out really, really yellow. I put too much, I think the color, the Ritz dye color is lemon, and I clearly used too much of that, and it turned out really yellow. But I thought it would work, and I started stitching it, and I was very unhappy. It did not look right at all. So I took another piece of, and this may be linen as well. I have it written down what it is. I mean, even weave as well. I don't think this is even weave. I think this is actually a piece of linen. I think this is Witchelt fabric from Hobby Lobby, and it was white. And I tried coffee dyeing and tea staining that, and it turned out better, but it still didn't have much oompa to it. And one of the colors in this charted, let's see if I can tell you what color it is. I'm using the Classic Colorworks colors that this calls for. You can use Bell Soy or Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks, and I'm using the Weeks and the Classic Colorworks. And one of the colors is, I believe it's this peanut brittle color, Classic Colorworks, and it is, let's see if I can, sorry. Let's see if I can kind of show you. It looks like this. It's kind of a yellowy, creamy yellow. It's very beautiful color, but it really did not, basically my fabric came out that color, and so it didn't really, I knew it wasn't going to pop. So I went and got some, I happened to be at Michael's or at Joann Fabrics for something the other day, and I thought about some spray color. Oh, excuse me. I thought about some spray color that I have used in scrapbooking before where you can kind of antique your pages. And it's acid free, and I thought that might work. So I got some of that and I spritzed a bit of that on this fabric, and I kind of overdid it a little bit. So I'm not totally thrilled with how this turned out. Well, no, I'll just show you the front. But it's not bad. It definitely has a very antique, kind of a dirty antique-y look to it. And there is the beginning of Lantern Lane. Oh, geez. Oh, Pete. I'm sorry. My needle minder's upside down. My threads are in the way. Here's the beginning of Lantern Lane. And, you know, the red is popping on that, and I kind of like the way that looks. Now, what I decided is that because I have such a love-hate relationship with buildings, actually, I love to look at them. I don't like to stitch them, and I'm horrible at stitching them. My count is always off. I always make mistakes. I don't know what it is. I decided to do this in blocks of 10, kind of like you would a Hade or a Mira or something like that. So that's how I'm doing this. It seems to be going on a lot better, just being able to do blocks of 10, work all my colors, and that's why I have hanging threads here, because I'm doing it. I can't even think of what that's called, what that process is called. Parking. I'm parking. So I'll just do that for the building, and then for the rest of it, which is all very easy, the rest of it is just the vase with the little flower and the bird and the little trees. This tree is adorable. I'm anxious to get to that. I may work on this later today. I'm very anxious to work on that a bit more. So that was that piece. And then I had been watching Nicole Buckeye Stitcher, who is a complete enabler. complete enabler. Nicole, if you're watching, I'm talking to you. You do. If you don't watch her videos, you need to do that. She's a lovely, lovely stitcher. Anyway, she is working on Ebenezer's Christmas by Erica Michaels for her sister for Christmas. And I think she started it last year and didn't quite get it done. And she's really done a lot working with colors and getting just exactly the right colors. And she has a whole video about that. It's excellent. But anyway, I love, as I told Nicole, everything about the Christmas Carol. I believe I own every version of the Christmas Carol, including the Mickey Mouse version. That's a cartoon. I think I own every version of the Christmas Carol ever made, into a movie. My son played the eldest Cratchit child when he was in 6th grade. They did at the community theater here in Omaha. They did 6 showings of it, I believe, and I saw every single show. My very favorite version is the I think it's a 1938 version. Black and white is my very, very favorite version of it, and we watch that every year before Christmas. As soon as Thanksgiving's over, that goes in the DVD. I used to have it on VCR and had to get the DVD version. And when I say we, as I told Nicole, when I say we, I mean me, because my family thinks I'm insane, and none of them really like it. I love everything about it. I own the book, everything. So anyway, this is Ebenezer's Christmas by Erica Michaels, and it's an interesting chart, because in this version, as you can tell, they've done it on a creamy white, and then they've filled in the background with a darker khaki, tannish brown color. And so that's all stitched. All of that background there is stitched. Well, like Nicole, I'm not stitching that background. So I dyed some fabric for myself. I ordered the chart. I think I went with all of the colors that it was charted for after I dyed some fabric for it. Fabric came out like that. I was happy with it. It looks, I believe I tea stained and coffee stained this fabric, and I think this is again just Witchelt fabric from Hobby Lobby. But here's my start on Ebenezer's Christmas. And I am using, if you watch Nicole's video, she talks about all the different possible reds. But I am using I believe it's Classic Colorworks Ruby Slipper. There's two different companies make Ruby Slipper. One makes Ruby Slippers. It's a slightly darker red, and one makes Ruby Slipper. And I think I'm using the Ruby Slipper 1S, or Ruby Slipper, no S at the end. But there's my start to it. It's very simple chart, very fun. I love the trees. Yeah, I love this. I love this. And I'm not giving this away to anybody. And I can't believe Nicole's giving this to her sister because, yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. Needle minder from Sincere Stitches, McKenna. I can't really see it. I use this needle minder a lot. It's one of my favorites. Okay, then I talked about picking up the Lizzie Kate Mystery Sampler. And I have started on that, and I'll show you my fabric and I'll show you the cover page, but I'm not going to show you the start to it because I think some people still don't have their charts and or haven't had a chance to start it, and I don't want to spoil anybody's surprise. But the Spirit of Christmas Mystery Sampler, the cover page looks like this. So even in the cover page, you don't really have an idea. But the colors, you guys, are just gorgeous. And Danielle shows the threads, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want to see the threads, these also come, just like the Halloween Mystery Sampler from last year, they come with mini charts, extras, bonus. This one came with 2. One says Peace, Love, and Joy on it. I have to do that one. And the other one is just a house with a little flower pot. Really, really cute. But here's my fabric. It's it's the called for fabric. I ordered the whole thing, kit and caboodle, the chart, the needle minder, which I could probably show you the needle minder. I'm about ready to lose my needle here. This is the needle minder. Spirit of Christmas. Very cute, very tiny, but really cute. And then it has a real, this chart uses kind of mauve-y, rosy colors, some real pretty greens, and then a real pale lavender called Oyster, I believe, and then I think is a new color. And it's lovely. It's very lovely. Lots of fun to work on. Typical Lizzie Kate, easy to read, easy to do, a lot of fun, really beautiful. Okay, I've been working on a Yuletide Welcome by Plum Street Samplers, which looks like this. This one I picked up when I bought Jack's Bash. It was right next to it. And Julie McConnell told me that this one worked up is just gorgeous. I believe it because it is lovely to start with. I'm using the MPI silks for this, mostly MPI silks. I think there are, I'm sorry, it's MPI silks for just 3 of the colors, and then the rest of them are classic Colorworks. This is stitched on maybe 35 count, 1/2, and I just have a little bit of a beginning on it. I started it and stitched the door and then put it down and started Lantern Lane. And then decided I'm going to stitch this in blocks of 10 by 10 as well, and park this thread as well to stitch the building, because the building's, you know, it's a decent size. It reminds me a lot of the building at Mount Vernon. But the building itself is done in classic Colorworks. What is the color? Oh shoot, I can't remember which one it is. It's one of the golds on here, maybe like heirloom gold maybe, but it's kind of that mustardy yellow color that my front room is. I love that. I think it's not really showing up very true here, but I don't know. I just love the Plum Street Sampler charts. They're so, look at the little sleigh and the little reindeer here. And this is the one I was talking about last time that says, this work wrought by me, P. Stewart, so Paulette. I'm going to do that. I love that. I love that it says that at the top. I think that's so cool. Okay. So everybody knows Michelle, Farm Girl. Michelle Rudy. She's awesome. She's amazing. She's an amazing stitcher. She had mentioned to me that she was interested in rug cooking, and several other people have mentioned that as well, and I've kind of tried to get a few people started. She really expressed a huge interest and was asking me about books and kind of how to get started, and so I sent her a few things in the mail, just stuff that I had laying around to get her started. And she, if you follow her on Instagram, she hooked her first little coaster, a little sheep coaster that turned out really, really cute. And of course, she's good right off the bat, just like we knew she would be. But we had been talking about the in the midst of talking about rug cooking, we had been talking about the Hawk Run Hollow Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And so I sent her this box of things, and I didn't spend any money on anything that I sent her. It was stuff I literally had lying around, and I have so much rug hooking stuff. She got it, and I had asked her, let me know when this arrives. It was kind of a big box just because of the wool and various things that were in there, and I was a little bit worried about it arriving safely. And she messaged me that it had arrived, and by the way, she said, this is going to choke me up. People in this community are just astound me. She said, don't get Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I already ordered it for you. Crazy girl. So I get a call from Julie McConnell one day at Reflections saying, hey, your Hawk Run Hollow Halloween chart is in. So I had to go pick it up. And now I'm getting close to 15 minutes again, and I still have stuff to show you. So we're going to do video 3. So I'm going to stop here, come back here in a second, and I'll show you Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow.